It is springtime in Texas. The flowers, the trees, our landscapes, they're all coming back to life. They give us unbelievable beauty. And in return, they just need a little water.
I quit. And then there's the kinks. It just never ends. No, it's not all doom and gloom. We do have a very bright spot coming up. I will not be a filthy hose dragger much longer. We've got a company coming to install a massive sprinkler system here to save me an ungodly amount of time and effort every day, every week. I am so excited to bring you with me on that journey. I'm curious to see what the finished product looks like. I have no idea how many miles of pipe these guys are gonna lay, but it's gonna be a lot. No, it's not just an aversion to sticky fingers, injury by water hose, or dealing with kinks when you're trying to water plants. You know, if I'm gonna accomplish everything I need to accomplish here on the ranch and elsewhere, I need to be the master of my own time, and watering takes so much time. As much as I love landscapes, man, we gotta automate this stuff. So let's get started with the sprinkler system install. Devin, thanks again, man, for coming out today.
Yes, sir. Pleasure to be here.
So, Devin, Texas Irrigation and Pipe. Tell us about you and about your company.
I've been with this company for 10 years as of this May. Texas Irrigation and Pipe is a local family-run and operated business that's been in this area for 40 years. Over the decades, they've done a little bit of everything irrigation-wise, from farm and pasture irrigation, of course, our bread and butter, residential, vineyards, orchards, and we do low voltage landscape lighting.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So as you can imagine, when we moved here, there was a lot to do. Like, this place was neglected for well over a decade, and we had to do everything. So I've looked at service providers for, construction, landscaping, obviously now irrigation, and
yes,
I found you guys. You have a great web presence, a good website, but like, for the average person, how do you know you're talking to someone who's reputable in your business?
Yes, sir. The first thing I like to tell people is you want to look up, are they a licensed irrigation company? Are they licensed with the state? We actually have 3 licensed irrigators that work for our company. So, and you can check that by going to TCEQ's website, and you can look up their name or their license number. So that's always a good plus. Also, when you do get a bid, make sure you get that plan. Without that plan, you don't know what you're getting. So
that was extensive. What you gave me, that packet.
By law, that is required in the state of Texas. There's a lot of people that don't do it, but like I said, this company's been around a long time, and we do everything above board. So we want you to have the best product and the best experience throughout the whole process.
I know that we can't be crazy. I can't be the only person who doesn't want to drag hoses around all summer.
And in fact, that is literally probably the first statement I hear from 90% of my clients is, I am tired of dragging hoses.
So beyond saving you time, which it saves you time, you know, you always look and you read at articles when you're considering a purchase like this, and you see a potential economic gain. Does a system like this really save you money on water utilization?
It will over time. So just to put it into perspective, like your typical residential yard, say like a subdivision house, you know, you're paying for that city water, and with the efficient watering and the proper settings of your scheduling, that investment, you'll recoup it in about 2 to 3 years. Now, of course, a system of this size will take a few more years than that, but you will recoup that, and then you will begin to see savings because you'll be having proper watering, you're not overwatering, and everything's getting what it needs to and not too much.
Okay, so if someone like me is dreading that summertime,
yes, sir,
and they want to install a system, do they need to think well in advance, or in the spring, or do they do it in the summer? When do you put one of these in?
We're fortunate enough here in Texas that our weather's temperate enough that I put systems in year round. One consideration to think of is if you are worried about, well, I want my yard to heal up and look as nice as it can as soon as it can, then early spring is prime because, of course, you see all the trenching that has to be done to get the pipe in the ground. And once everything's covered up, you will have those small trench marks left. But if you do it in the early spring, those will heal over relatively quickly. If you do it in the winter, you're going to have those trench marks throughout the entirety of the winter till the grass begins its growing season again.
Right on.
So, but like I said, luckily enough here in Texas, it's temperate enough that any time of year is pretty well good.
So, advice to people who are considering installing a system. What would you want someone to know, you know, when they call you, or when they're about to install, or they're about to go through an undertaking like this?
If you think you're going to be doing some landscaping, it's nice to know possible areas, what that landscaping plan is, because it helps me design the system properly to what you're going to have. And then like we did, try and walk the yard as best we can and show utilities and things that may be obstacles for the installation process of all the piping. And that's pretty much it. I will handle just about everything else.
Man, you've made it so easy on us. And I love the fact that we have our system expandable. I think we're already running, what, 16 zones?
It'll be 18, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
We're running 18 already, and we have half of the place left to go. So
yes, sir.
It's going to be a sizable system.
Yes, sir. And one other consideration out here in the more rural areas is almost everyone's on a well system. Yeah. So that's one thing you need to think about is whoever you have come out and assess your yard and give you a possible bid, make sure they have an understanding of well pump systems. It's something I run into frequently, as is we're a full service company as well, and we'll work on anyone's system. Is a lot of times you get people out of Houston and they're used to their set ways, and I've got this much water, so it, you know, 3 heads a zone, 3 heads a zone. It's a little different working off a well system, as is you need to design to that pump so you don't damage your water well system.
Good point.
Yes, sir.
And that's something I would have completely overlooked.
Yes, sir. And it does happen quite frequently. So that is definitely a major point in the rural areas to think about.
So your service area, if somebody wants to get a hold of Texas Irrigation and Pipe, how do they find you?
You can, of course, look up our website, texasirrigation.com, or you can call our toll-free number, or our office line is 979-732-3970. And our service area is, we're based near Columbus, Texas, and we operate in about a 100-mile radius of that area.
Awesome.
And we will travel for commercial jobs and things of that sort, but like I said, our bread and butter is really our residential out here in these rural areas.
Awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
Devin, thanks again for coming by.
Yes, sir.
So in all seriousness, Franklin's habitat was one of the considerations for a system. Over here, we have a huge shipping container wall, which is really, really ugly. But that is a great place to hang climbing flowers. He loves blooms and flowers, or climbing gourds, cucumbers, melons, you know, all things that Franklin might enjoy. And also in the summertime, we don't want this grass to die off, and we don't want to mow it too short. Sulcata tortoise grazes just like a cow or a horse, and he'll keep this entire section grazed down. So naturally, we want to make sure we have enough water to keep this landscape super healthy for the little guy.
And Franklin, by the way, has not enjoyed the install. Hopefully, he'll come out again and return to normal once we wrap things up.
Pro tip, when you are about to install your sprinkler system, there are a couple of things you do not want to do. And that is put in new sod or mulch and plant new garden beds before they trench and lay the pipe in your garden beds. It's funny, the guys who are installing the system are saying that a lot of folks put in new sod right before they install the system. He said it's not uncommon. I find that funny. So just remember, things always get worse before they get better. And when you are envisioning being the master of your own time in the morning, instead of dragging a hose around, it's gonna be harder before you get to that point. There's gonna be a lot of trenching. There's gonna be a lot of tearing up your yard. But thank goodness we've got the pros. They've taken good care of us. I am very happy to report that my sprinkler system is installed, it's in the ground, it's working, we are good to go. But one of the things that I absolutely love is how well these guys in particular, covered their tracks, so to speak. I mean, the trenching on this place was just outrageous. I mean, take a look at all of this. They took extra care in making sure that they didn't make a huge mess. And the system is so slick. All right, let's get everything going. Zone 15, goat chewed roses. Whoa, there we are.
Let's take a quick trip back to my desktop and look at some collateral. So Texas Pipe and Irrigation gave me material on every part installed on this place. Every sprinkler head, no kidding. And I got the schematic that shows you every zone, every head, locations, which is so helpful. As we dive into this next piece, the price, let's keep in mind, this is an investment, not an expense. Esco, I get it, man. That's a big price tag. But the reality is, this thing is going to take care of the lawn, the soil, all the plants around the house, our trees, the foundation of our house. So, it is what it is. You just have to make the investment, and when you look back, I don't think we're going to regret it.
Ryan, I get it. You better get back to something happy and fun.
Here here's someone who is very excited to see this project come to an end. This is Franklin. You met him earlier. He's a sulcata tortoise. This little guy's about 130 pounds and he's 25 years old. This is Lady's little buddy. Franklin enjoys eating peppers, grazing grass, the occasional misting of a water bottle, and cruising his raceway for the 3 to 4 hours a day he's awake. Franklin, thank you for coming out and joining us, but we have to get back to rural lawn irrigation. We'll come back and visit you in a future episode.
Look at that. My cypress tree is coming to life. The system could not have been installed at a better time. My spring's looking up. Thank you for joining me for this project. I hope you found something here that's helpful. We have no shortage of projects here, so I do hope you will come back and join us again soon. See you next time.
If you like ridiculously huge sprinkler systems, ranching, or hanging out with really, really good-looking German Shepherds, come back and see us. I've got a subscribe button, a video, and a playlist for you right here.